Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. I want to start off today's video by saying Eid Mubarak and a very happy Akshiya Tritiya to whoever is celebrating. I feel like we need reasons to celebrate more than ever. So if you are contemplating on dressing up or doing makeup just because you are going to be staying at home, please do. Like, it's going to lift your mood up and we all can be part of a virtual celebration and we all can just share selfies and all of that with each other. So if you are going to be getting dressed up today, make sure you send me a selfie on Instagram or tag me or just here wherever it is that you feel comfortable, and I would love to be part of your celebration. But coming back to today's look, today we are going to be creating this all matte look. Now I know whenever you talk about Indian traditions or Indian festivals or any festivals of sorts, we always go towards shimmers and glitters and all of that, but I wanted to do a little bit a different makeup today, and that's why I went for an all matte makeup, and I think it still looks pretty damn glamorous. It's very wearable and it's perfect if you are going to be staying at home and you just want something that's quick and easy but still looks stun gun. So yes, without any further ado, if you want to know how I got this look, then please keep on watching. It's time to convert your Chand Ka Tukra to Eid Ka Chand, and we're going to start off by priming our face. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Putty primer. Now I have never used this. I've heard great things about this, so I thought, finally I'll get my hands on it and put it on my face and test it out for you guys. Now this video is going to be a mix of either new products or products I've been using for ages. There is literally no in between. I've got no chills and I don't even feel like dipping my hands in there. It has this swirl pattern going on. But we gotta do what we gotta do. So I'm gonna just take up a little bit of that primer and I'm gonna start applying it on my face. This feels moisturizing. Somehow I thought like this is gonna be, like a benefit primer, like those professional primers, because it just says pore putty pore, whatever that is. But it feels pretty moisturizing, so that's nice. And once that is all over my face, I'm going to give it about 20 to 30 seconds for it to settle down in my skin so that I can move on to my foundation. I told you guys this is going to be a mix of either new makeup or makeup that's been really old and has been with me for a while. So I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible foundation, the 24-hour fresh wear one, and this is in the shade Golden Beige. Hopefully it's still a good match for me. As of right now, I don't even know what my shade is. Am I my winter shade? Am I my summer shade? Am I my in-between shade? I don't know what shade I am right now, but I'm just gonna take a little bit of this foundation on the back of my hand. I do really like this foundation. It is full coverage. Okay, this was probably my first full coverage foundation, and this was the foundation that made me fall in love with full coverage foundations. But it looks really good on the skin, so I'm just gonna start applying this on my face, and I'm using my Huda Beauty. This is the face buff and blend brush. It is just a basic flat top brush just to blend out your foundation. A lot of brands do this. It's a pretty dense brush, so it also makes sure that the foundation's pigmentation and coverage stays there. So I am just gonna cover up my face. Now of course, if you are gonna be staying at home and you don't feel like wearing foundation, you can totally skip it. But I love to wear foundation. I love how it just instantly, transforms me into a new person, gives me this new vibe and new energy. Even if you are not planning to wear foundation, I would suggest apply a little bit of concealer or a little bit of high coverage powder, and it's going to instantly lift up your mood. That is actually a pretty good match. Like, I really like how it has matched my chest and my neck. So guess who's going to be finishing up this foundation real soon, because we're almost there anyway. But we're going to move on to our concealer now, and because we've gone such full coverage with my foundation, I'm going to keep the coverage slightly lower with my concealer. And I have the Kiko Milano Natural Concealer with me right here. Again, a product I've had since years and I love it. This is in the shade 02 and it's slightly highlighting for my skin. But again, if you are not considering wearing foundation, you can just apply a concealer that is closer to your skin tone and call it a day. You can still just target the same areas that I'm targeting, which are going to be my under eyes, because I think under eyes for most people are the specific area. Like, under eyes and around the mouth are the two areas that most people want to like cover up and sort of neutralize of sorts. So I'm just going to apply this also in between my brows and on my forehead just a little bit. I'm going to take this down the bridge of my nose and I'm going to apply it on my cupid's bow and my chin. This is just to balance my face out and make the highlighting more even. I am also going to apply it right under where I would contour later on, so that my features are brought out a little bit more. I look a little bit more chiseled, because if you are going to be celebrating Eid and all of the iftaris are something that you've already done, then maybe you want to chisel out your face a little bit. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not trying to make you sound like feel a little bit more uncomfortable or anything. But chiseling out your face always helps, because if you're going to be clicking photos, which I think festivals are going to be about for a while, like just clicking photos in our room or in our house, then chiseling out your features really helps in making sure that there is that contrast in that photo. All right, so we're going to start blending it out because I'm blabbering way too much. I'm using this brush by Pack, which is from their face kit series. I don't think you can individually get this brush, but their face kit is actually really nice with all helpful brushes, so I really like it. So I'm starting out with blending the centers of my face first. I leave my eyes for the last because that just adds to a little bit of coverage, extra coverage. And who doesn't love a little bit of extra coverage around their eyes, right? So as you can see, this is so easy to blend. Like you don't even have to work that much. It's very, very easy to blend. So I'm just blending it out with the help of this brush. I am not putting a lot of pressure on my skin. I feel like when people talk about anti-aging and all of that, they forget that it's also about how much pressure we're putting onto the skin. But then again, there are also studies like you can't massage wrinkles into your skin. Like a lot of people say like if you massage your face in a downward motion, you are going to get wrinkles and sagginess. But then some people say no, that doesn't work that way. So I don't know what is right scientifically. I am just gonna still stay with lower pressure for my face. A lot of you often ask me how do I clean my nose pin after I'm done with my makeup. It's pretty easy. I just wipe it like that with my finger without just touching my nose, just keeping it on the nose pin itself. If it's a little bit more difficult for you or if your nose pin is smaller, just push it from the inside and clean it like that. It's easy peasy. All of the makeup comes off from the nose pin very easily. Before I set my face with powder, I am going to be doing a little bit of cream contouring, and I don't want to do it on top of powder because it just goes a little you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean when I say it goes a little But I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty Tantour today. This is in the shade Light. I have loved Tantour ever since it launched, and oh my god, I love this product. It's such a beautiful product, but a very similar product is Benefit's Hoola Contour Stick, Quickie Stick. This is just like in a jar form and that's in a stick form, and both of them feel like really similar when it comes to the formulation. I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Bake and Blend brush, and I'm going to use the stiff angular side and not this side. This side is pretty dirty, but I'm going to use this side so I can wash it without having extra mehnat for just washing one side, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to take a little bit of it because this is super pigmented, and I'm going to just apply, and I'm going to dab it on first before blending it out. So I'm just dabbing it wherever I want to apply it. That's going to be the hollows of my cheekbones, my forehead, which I don't really need to contour as such, but I love to have a nice bronze look to it. And then I am going to apply it on my chin and my jawline just a little bit, and then I'm going to slightly go on my nose. I don't focus so much on my nose because I don't want to look like I'm not even able to breathe, but I just applied again just to get that nice cohesive look going on. So I'm just going to start blending this out now, and because we've not set our face with powder, it's not gonna fill up or just go crumbly or anything of that sort. Even though you can work this on top of powder, but I feel like it's much more easier if you work it on top of fresh foundation or just any cream or liquid base underneath. And again, even if you are not doing foundation, you can do cream contouring, cream blusher on bare skin. I feel like on bare skin, cream products just look so much more bomb actually. So yeah, don't worry if you're not doing foundation, you can still do this step. For my nose, I just blend it downwards so that the center part does not get muddy. So I just blend it slightly downwards. I just dab on the product. It's very easy to blend out Tantour. It doesn't require much effort or much pressure at all, which is why I love it. It's time to set our face, and I'm going to be setting the whole of my face today because I have cream contoured and I want it to stay in place. Although Tantour does turn into like a powder formulation, like a cream to powder formulation, but it's getting hot outside. It's getting really hot, and if you're even slightly oily, like I'm Sahara Desert Dry, if you're even slightly oily, then your makeup's gonna break down like this because it's getting so hot. But I'm gonna be using my MAC Studio Fix Compact today, and again, do I need to tell you how long I've been using this for? I think this is proof enough. But I'm going to use it with my Cuffs and Lashes brushes. This is in the variant or the style or the design F014. I love this brush. This is probably my favorite brush from her. Again, Cuffs and Lashes video is coming up. I am just putting my finishing touches on my thoughts, and then I'll film it and you'll get it soon. But yes, I'm just going to coat my brush with this powder, which at this point it's difficult because it's only on the corners. And I'm going to start powdering my face down. I'm going to start with my eyes. I'm going to press this powder down on my under eyes just to make sure that the fine lines and all of that sorts is like delayed for a little bit longer. I feel like makeup is for you and not just for everyone else. So even if you are going to be sitting at home, why not just put some on, right? Why not just apply a little bit of makeup to cheer yourself up. That's what I did for Diwali last year. Like, we were home, we didn't go out or anything, but I dressed up. Like, I had a mang tika on, okay? So that's the amount of dressing up I did for Diwali last year. So I feel like कर लो यार थोड़ा सा makeup. Like, there's no harm in just putting a little bit of makeup on. It'll cheer you up. It'll just make you feel a little bit more festive and a little bit more happier. And I feel like you can always just do a photo dump on Instagram or FaceTime your friends and family and show off your makeup skills and show off how banging you're looking. And that's gonna be true even if you don't apply makeup. You're gonna look banging even if you don't apply makeup. Makeup is not there to make you look a certain way. It's there to make you feel a certain way. So yeah, my powdering is done, done. For my blush, I'm going to use my Fla Beauty blusher. This is in the shade Sweet Pea, and I swear I've been using it for a while. It's just that these flower indents are really deep, so it doesn't even look like I've touched it. But if you've seen a couple of my previous videos, not like recent previous videos, because I've only been using MAC Mocha and Melba, I was like, listen, I need to give Mocha and Melba a break. So I bought my Sweet Pea out, and I'm just going to be... That sounds wrong. I bought my Sweet Pea out. Forget that I ever said that. But I'm going to take my PAC 302 brush, which is just a flat brush, a nice brush to apply your blushes with. But I do have to warn you, this one does have a slight fallout, like at least for me. So once that fallout is done away with, it's a really good brush to use. But initially, it will have a little bit of fallout. So I'm just applying this blush, which just literally transforms the whole look. It just makes you feel so much more youthful, fresh, and just, you know, happy overall. For highlighters, I'm going to stick to my Kylie Cosmetics loose highlighter. I swear this is never getting finished off. I don't know how much product is in there. I've been using it for years at this point, and I've been religiously using it, and it's just like it always comes out. Like, every single time I shake it, I feel like this time there's going to be no product, but there's always so much product in there. So I'm going to use this today, but there are so many other highlighters. I have highlighter recommendations and whatnot. If you don't want to get this or can't get this, then there are a lot of other highlighters in the market which are beautiful. I'm going to use it with my Beige Cosmetics brush. This is again from a kit. This is in the shade variant. This is in the number 5, but basically it's just a small dome shaped brush, and this is what I've been using for my highlighter. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that highlighter. I'm going to apply it on the tops of my cheeks, and I'm going to round it out right here. So even if I'm seeing in front, there's a little bit of glow, just a little bit of glow. I'm not going for that visible from outer space sort of a highlighter. I'm going for the I drank 10 liters of water, I'm on a detox diet, I eat my veggies kind of glow. So yeah, that's the MO for today. I am just applying this on the other side also with a very light hand. This is a very pigmented highlighter. So even if you want like that visible from outer space look, this is gonna blind everyone in the outer space. Aliens would never be able to reach Earth because they'll be like that, okay? So yeah, I am just gonna be applying this on the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, again a very tiny amount, and then on my cupid's bow, just to make my lips look a little bit fuller. It's time for a setting spray shower, and I'm going to use my NYX matte finish spray. I generally always use dewy finish. The only reason I'm using matte finish today is because I'm going for an overall matte look, so I don't want my whole face to look dewy. I just want my highlighted points to look dewy of sorts. So I'm just gonna, you know, do what I do, take a shower in the setting spray. It's time to frame my eyebrows, and I'm going to use a product I finished like I think more than 5 or 6 times. I'm talking about the NYX Microbrow pencil. This is in the shade Espresso, and I really like this pencil. So I'm going to start off with the spoolie end, and I'm going to start brushing my hair out. This is just to ensure there is no excessive product in my brows like foundation or powder or concealer or anything of that sorts, and also that my brow hair are not knotted up. Yes, brow hair can knot up. True story, has happened with me. So I'm just making sure that my brows are all well combed through and groomed, and then I'm going to go on to the pencil side, and I'm going to start filling in my brows. I'm going to apply a line right here on the under part of my brow, and then I'm going to apply one right on top. This will act like a guide for my brows, and then I'm going to go in the direction of my hair growth just to mimic my hair growth. I like to go in with my spoolie in between the pencil applications just to make sure that the color is nicely distributed and there is no chunks of color, and this also gives me a fair idea of where all I need to work slightly more and make sure that the area is nicely filled in. So just make sure you use your spoolie to your advantage, because it's always a good thing to have a spoolie in the pencil. Now that my brows are filled in, I'm going to go into my Benefit 3D Brow Tones. This is just a metallic copper shade, just to ensure there's a little bit of texture in your brows and they don't look flat. They look like they have some dimension to them. You can honestly use any brow gel that you have. You can also use like a brown mascara to do this if you have darker brows. And if you have lighter brows, you can again use just brown mascara, like a slightly lighter brown mascara, to ensure that your brows look, a little bit more textured and natural. So I'm just running this through my brows to ensure that there is some dimension to them. Moving on to my eyeshadow, I am going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette, and please judge the book by its cover. Look at the cover, and this is what it looks like. So this is what it also is from the inside. I have used this palette so much, but you don't need this particular palette to create the look. You can use any neutral palette because we are going to be going for a neutral matte look. However, I am pretty sure I have duped this in the past. If I have, I will link it for you guys up in the eye so you can go ahead and check it out. But today we're going to be using this palette right here, and I'm going to start with the shade Sienna, which is probably my favorite shade, and I'm using it with a flat shader brush. This is from a random brush set. It doesn't have any name, number, generic brush set. It's just a synthetic flat shader brush. I'm going to dust away the excess so there's no fallout on my face. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating a wing on my outer corner. And this is something I did in my yellow eyeshadow look also, which you guys loved. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to start blending it inwards with the top of my brush. So I'm just keeping my brush like this, and I'm just pushing this color in. So it's basically creating like an outer V wing, like a really thick Amy Winehouse sort of a wing. So that's what we are doing with this color. This is going to be our base color, which would just ensure that the transition to the darker colors is much more easier. Using a nice fluffy blending brush, I'm going to ensure that this is slightly more blended out and not so stark. So I'm first going to use it up on my edge so that the edge is nice and diffused. And once that is done, I'm going to go on top, and I'm not going to extend it inwards, right? I'm just moving my brush on the area where I already have the color so that it's nice and diffused right there. I don't want to go for like a crease look with this color, but I just want it to be nice and diffused where it's placed. With the same brush, which by the way is from a company called as Jessup. Again, it came in a huge set, and there are just few brushes I like from the set, and this is one of them. This is their blending brush. I'm going to pick up the shade Orange Soda, which is a very pale sort of a blending transition shade, and with this I'm going to start defining my crease. So I'm just going to place this in my crease. I'm going to take it till my inner corners. Okay, so I'm just going to be buffing this out as I'm going, and I'm going to ensure that my crease has that dimension a little bit. I'm not going for a really deep crease, but I still want a little bit of depth to be in there. Using a much smaller definer brush this time, this is by Morphe, I'm going to pick up the shade Cypress Umber, which is a very dark brown. It's a beautiful deep chocolatey brown. You can also use a black if you want. I just prefer brown tones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it on the edge of my first shade. Okay, so I'm using very light hands. As you can see, I'm barely touching my eyes. And I'm going to start blending this into Sienna. So this would just give me a little bit of more darkness just on the outer corner. It would make it look like I have a wing liner when I really don't have any liner going on. So I'm just blending this as I go, and I'm not going to extend it completely upwards, right? I want it to end before the sienna shade ends. And I'm just again making sure I blend it beautifully on my eyelid area space too. I'm also going to use Cypress Umber on my lower lash line, just on the outer 1/3 or 1/4. This would give me like a doe-eyed effect. I don't want to line all the way throughout, just on the outer corners. And of course, I'm going to blend it out with the help of sienna so that it's not as harsh as it looks right now. For my lid space area, I'm actually going to mix up tempera and orange soda because it doesn't have a compact like shade. You can also pick up your compact and apply it on your lid space, but I'm going to mix these two up, dust off the excess, and I'm going to apply it on the centers of my eye, and I'm going to blend it into the brown shades that we have placed. Now, of course, if you don't want to go for an all matte look at this point, you can use any shimmer that you want. I'm also going to ensure this blends nicely into orange soda, and because we have mixed a little bit of orange soda with tempera, it's going to be much more easier to do. I know we are going for that all matte look, but I like to give my inner corner just a little bit of pizzazz. So I'm going to pick up the shade Fairy, a little bit on a tiny round brush, and I'm going to apply it on my inner corners. just to brighten them up slightly. I am gonna skip my brow bone today and just let this be in my inner corners. And I'm not going for a very blinding highlight, a very subtle one at it. And now it's time for me to repeat everything I've done here onto here. I am in love with how my eyes are looking right now. This has been my vibe, okay? This has been my whole vibe. This fur wing, sort of a liner, eyeshadows blended out beautifully. I've been doing my makeup like this off lately, and you guys are loving it too, and I'm loving it. It's not McDonald's, but I'm loving it. Let's move on to mascara, shall we? I'm gonna use this one by Max Factor again. This is something I've never tried, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I find a good new mascara. I feel like I've been in the same vicious circle of a few mascaras. I've not tried a good one yet, like a new good one yet. So hopefully this will break the cycle. So I am, ooh, that is a different wand. That is a very, very different wand. So I'm just gonna start wiggling this through my lashes. Now, Max Factor was a brand that my nani used to use a lot, and according to my nani and my papaji, my nanaji, I used to call him papaji, Max Factor was the brand. Like, it was the high-end brand, okay? I feel it's more like a high-end, not high-end, but like a higher drugstore brand these days, like a L'Oreal. Like, L'Oreal is not affordable. Like, some of their products are, but it's not like an affordable brand. But it's not a luxury brand too, even though some of their prices are like similar to, I would say, like a Mac. But still, it's not like, high end. I think Max Factor falls in that same range. Now, this is a very, very weird brush, so I don't know how to go about it. But let's see, let's coat our lashes. I like that it has this top because you can apply this very easily on the lower lashes with the top. So that's good. But when it comes to the top lashes, I don't know how to go about it, which is not a big problem for me because I'm going to apply falsies anyway. You already know it, I'm going to apply falsies. But I still want a good mascara. I've been searching for a new good mascara. Here's a quick before and after of the mascara. What do we think? Do we like? Comment below, let me know. But I'm going to quickly do my mascara on my other eye, put on some false lashes, and I'll be right back for the lipstick. My lashes are on and my look has been elevated to another level, but honestly, you don't need to wear lashes. I just love to wear lashes, and that's why I've applied them on. Let's move on to our lip color now. Now, you can honestly wear any lip color under the sun with this look. This look would complement any lip color. A nude, a brown, pink, red, orange, purple, maroon, whatever it is that you want to wear, you can wear with this eye look. So it definitely depends on your preference and your outfit. For me personally, I'm going to go with the pinky nude right here. This is from Maybelline. This is their matte ink range, and this is in the shade Self Starter, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it's a beautiful warm pink nudie shade. So I'm just going to go with this because it would give you an overall idea of how it's going to look. And I love, I remember this shade differently. It also has hints of terracotta in there. Not bad. I still like it. As I said, every color would go with this eye look, so that's the best thing. You can wear any lip color. Chalo, at least for once, I'm not using my stripped down liner from MAC. No doubt this color is beautiful and it looks absolutely gorgeous, but I had a different vision in my brain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Barely Nude from Maybelline Creamy Matte range, and I'm just going to dab it on top of my lipstick just to add a little bit of pinkiness and mauviness to my lips. So I'm literally just dabbing this color on top till I get it to the intensity that I like. And yes, with that, we are done with this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this and found this helpful. If you did, then don't forget to comment and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. Also, if you've made till here, let me know what are you going to be feasting on today. So we do Ganne ka Ras on Akshiya Tritiya, so I've ordered this real ka masala sugarcane juice. So we're going to be feasting on it all day long. I love me some sugarcane juice. It's just so yum. But yes, let me know what are you going to be feasting on. It's going to be a fun discussion. But please, guys, stay home, stay safe, celebrate very, very cautiously. Stay near to your loved ones and your family, and I will see you guys next week on Monday. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye. Eid Mubarak again, guys.